Other than doing the homework while the teacher is collecting it, what's an extreme sport? Giving a presentation, created by your group, to your boss as you see the slides for the first time in the projector. The real extreme sport is looking into the light emitting portion of the projector to gain a split-second advantage to knowing the material before anyone else. This guy's hardcore. Every second counts. Telling yourself you'll just close your eyes for a few minutes after turning your alarm off. Did this today. Still managed to get here on time, but not like I care, since I'm resigning Friday morning. Dude, why? Live a little. Get there late. Take it easy on the job. Give yourself lots of breaks. Take a shit on the desk. Convincing myself that I can watch a 10-minute video when I have to leave in 5 minutes. Trying to type something in the group chat before the topic changes. Desperately sifting through relevant gifs to look for that one that really nails it, but it has to be the next response chronologically or else it loses all impact and you see those 3 dots someone's typing icon pop up. Seeing your train arrive at the platform, but refusing to run in the hope that you've timed your walking speed just right to make it before it leaves. You never run for a bus or train, because if you run for it and miss, you look stupid, and if you run for it and get on it, you look only slightly less stupid. Nothing like mad dashing to the train cause it's been there for a minute, getting in nodding to everyone like hooray I made it, and the doors don't close for a minute or so, and that good feeling of having just raced to make it starts to disappear. Sweat dripping, everyone settled in for the wait and you're standing there just, yeah, made it. Skipping the highway rest stop, because you only need to hold it in for another 15 minutes to make it home. Did this once, and ended up driving down a dirt road 10 minutes from my house, and shitting violent diarrhea in the woods. Getting dressed after your friend texts you I'm here. Jumping in the shower without the ceremonial throwing a hand in to check the temperature. That is a dangerous game that I've played, and lost many times. Closing maps when you decide you know where you're going, then having to open it and get directions again right before a turn you think sounds right. I've been here before. Many years ago. I know exactly where I am. Nope, lost. Using a public restroom without checking the amount of available toilet paper first. I do this way too often at work. Have had to use those seat covers a few times too many. Do not recommend. Getting a birthday gift for a friend on your way to the party. Trying to take notes when the lecturer changes the slides too fast. Bonus points if you actually ask them to go back a slide. Nap, bonus points if you don't ask to go back a slide because you convince yourself you can remember what was on the slide. Lying on your resume about being proficient in Excel, then furiously googling how to do some complicated formula while the boss steps away. If Google can get you there, you're qualified. Getting the chicken out of the freezer while mom is in the driveway and defrosting it while heating the oven to 200 in 250 minutes and washing the dishes because she told you to finish them by the time she came back and you replied with a yeah I'll do it. Raising your hand in class to give a summary of last night's required reading after not reading a single page. You're all good. Teacher will definitely pick on the shy kid with a stutter that never volunteers anything and hates speaking in front of the class. Trying to hit airplane mode before your email gets sent out. Pro tip, if you use Gmail there is a feature that won't send your email for 10, 15, or 20 seconds after you hit send. This way if you realize you made a mistake you can pull it back from the internet by hitting undo. It's a godsend. You can turn it on at the bottom of the settings page. Feeling your stomach start to bubble while you're still 10 minutes away from home. The amount of focus and endurance needed to succeed is nearly inhuman sometimes. My stomach used to be absolutely terrible. I've changed my diet and it's much better these days. But I used to have these drive attacks at least twice a month. On the real bad ones the feeling of your ass being on the brink of explosion comes in waves. Where if you can hold strong through the wave you get a 30-second reprieve before the next wave hits. I was in the car with my wife on my worst attack ever, and when the wave peaked, about 25 seconds from my house, it took every muscle in my torso to hold the tight back sweat beaded across my forehead and my eyes welled up, and a tear ran down my cheek. but I fucking made it. It's still the most grueling physical activity I have ever participated in. Begin masturbating when your battery is at 2%. Phone, laptop, or vibrator? Yes. Learning your lines backstage just before your character comes on. This made my legs tingle in anticipation just thinking about that. Farting when you had diarrhea. Reminds me of that show though a while back. The fact that your ass can't tell the difference between a gas and a solid is underrated. It's the liquids it struggles with. Delivering a lecture without a PowerPoint due to technological failure. You straddle the line between purveyor of universal truth and fraud. One should only chase this dragon a handful of times. Me and a friend once forgot we had to give a presentation and PowerPoint always gave you a better grade. Luckily our teacher was literally blind, so we just prepared a quick text to read which we read straight from our laptops and put up a PowerPoint with one slide saying, "Please pretend that we have a good PowerPoint and don't rat us out." We nailed it and got good grades. Waking up late for work in the winter, so you can't defrost your windshield before leaving. So you drive with your head out the window, so you can see, and aren't late to work. Guys, PLS don't do that. Queuing up for a League of Legends game, going to get some food, then hear the pop, and make a sprint to accept it. Trying to come before it switches over to a close-up of the guy's face. Eating Doritos while surf the web, and keeping your dirty fingers from touching anything other than more delicious chips. Buying a train ticket on the train with your phone, when you see the guy checking tickets at the other end of the carriage. Bonus points if your phone is almost empty. Masturbating as fast as you can after yelling "Mum, Dad, come quick." Beginner mode if your parents don't care about you enough to come. Doing the homework, while teachers collecting it. Back in high school, in one of my classes, the teacher would go around checking everyone's worksheet. She didn't collect them. One time when I forgot to do my homework, I grabbed the sheet of the kid next to me, which she'd already checked, as she was walking back up the aisle. Then showed it to her as my own. Got credit. Did same thing except 5 people thought of this too, and used the same student's homework each time. The teacher used red pen to check the paper, so we had to get creative real quick on how to hide that pen marker 5 times. By the end of it, it was scribbles all over the paper. Sometimes ripped and sometimes it was long gone before the 5th guy got it. We always returned the homework back to the student. She never said anything, always thought it was funny watching us rush it. The teacher kept complimenting about my great handwriting. Masturbating in someone else's house with the door open. Yo, just shitting in someone else's house with the door open is an extreme sport. Why would anyone do these things? You've been working 8 to 5 for the last 30 years of your life. Your bald spot is now your whole head. About 8 years ago you were in a car crash that should have woken you up, but you still wake up every morning ready to go back to sleep. Your bed is your only friend. Your wife of 11 years divorced you and took the dog. Well, it was her dog first, but you walked it and took it to the vet, and damn it you miss that dog. Honestly, the worst part was when the dog passed away in her goddamn arms. Her backyard is where your best buddy was interred. When the dog died, his last thoughts were of where you were and why you weren't there to comfort him. So what if sometimes you like to go over to your neighbors while they're fucking and shit with the door open? It's the only thing that makes you feel alive anymore. Not running when you see the traffic lights go red at a zebra crossing and continuing to just walk in the hope you still make it in time to look like a boss and still cross the road or get there just as the traffic lights go green again and you press the button again and still look cool. Either way, you don't run and look a fool. All this was this morning. Trying to jump your car while running late for school. Writing your entire speech while everyone else is doing this. Didn't have time before class started. Reddit roulette in a public space where people could see your screen. Getting to the nearest gas station when you have a fraction of a gallon left in your tank. Attempting to control for noise when taking a shit in a crowded bathroom through various clinching, holding, angling, and flushing/clearing throat methods. Having to take out the trash in the middle of an online game. I can't pause, mom, it's online. I can't quit. Going on front of the whole class with a blank piece of paper to read your essay. paying bills so the money gets taken out of your account right after your paycheck is deposited, without incurring either late fees or overdrafts.